You won't believe what's occurring right now. Melody Holt, one of the most talked about stars of Love and Marriage Huntsville, has officially walked away from the show. Fans have been speculating for months about why she made this drastic move, but now we're learning that there may be something far more serious behind her decision. This isn't just about leaving reality TV, this is about fear, control, and the possibility of revenge. Yes, you heard that right, Melody is afraid that Martell might try to get back at her, and trust me, this isn't just wild fan speculation. There are real signs that suggest she has every reason to be worried. Their relationship has been through everything: cheating scandals, explosive fights, legal battles, and emotional warfare, but now things have taken a terrifying turn, because for the first time Melody isn't just distancing herself from Martell personally, she's removing herself from the public eye, stepping away from the platform where their messy history has played out for the world to see, and that could be the very thing that sets Martell off. And here's where it gets shocking. Melody has intimated that she doesn't feel secure. She hasn't outright claimed Martell is coming for her, but she has made it apparent that she's watching her back, whether it's via cryptic social media postings or the manner she's been conducting recent interviews. There's an underlying tension that something is building behind the scenes. The issue is why now we all know that Martell doesn't take rejection well, and let's be honest, he's never liked the idea of Melody being too independent from him. But now that she's completely removed herself from the show that kept them tied together, could this be the final breaking point for him? Could we be looking at a situation where Martell feels like he has nothing left to lose? And if that's the case, what could his next move be? And trust me, this isn't just another reality TV breakup. The situation feels different, because the way Melody is acting, the way she's pulling back from the spotlight, the way she's choosing her words so carefully when talking about Martell, it all suggests that she knows something we don't. And let me tell you, when you start putting the pieces together, it gets really unsettling. Because if Melody, one of the strongest, most confident women on Love and Marriage Huntsville, is this worried about what Martell might do next, then what does that tell us about what's going on behind the scenes? This is just the beginning of a very messy situation, and as we dive deeper into the history between Melody and Martell, what led to this moment, and why she might be afraid, things are only going to get crazier. To understand why Melody is afraid of what Martell might do next, we have to take a deep dive into their explosive history, because trust me, this isn't just your average reality TV breakup. This is a war that's been building for years. Let's take it back to the beginning. Melody and Martell weren't always enemies. In fact, they were once considered a power couple. When Love and Marriage Huntsville first started, they were the ultimate example of Black excellence and success. They were building businesses together, raising their beautiful family, and giving the world a glimpse of what seemed like the perfect marriage. But behind closed doors, it was a completely different story. Things started to unravel when rumors of Martell's infidelity started circulating. At first, it seemed like just gossip, until it wasn't. Martell had been cheating on Melody for years, and not just a one-time mistake. This was a full-blown long-term affair. And the worst part, when the truth finally came out, he refused to take accountability. Melody tried to make it work. She gave him chances, she fought for their marriage, but time and time again Martell showed her exactly who he was. He kept lying, kept sneaking around, and kept disrespecting her. And finally Melody had enough. The divorce was ugly. Publicly, Martell acted like he wanted his family back, but privately he was doing everything he could to tear Melody down. The emotional manipulation, the gaslighting, the attempts to make her look like the villain, it was textbook narcissistic behavior. And it didn't stop there. Martell didn't only lose Melody, he lost the life they created together. Melody wasn't just his wife, she was his business partner. She was the one with the brains, the one with the vision. And when she walked away, she didn't just take her heart with her, she took her brand, her independence, and her success, and that crushed Martell. And here's where it gets worse. Messier Martell has a history of trying to sabotage Melody. When she first started rebuilding her life, he made it as difficult as possible. He tried to stop her from moving on, tried to make co-parenting a nightmare, and even tried to ruin her business opportunities. And now that she's officially stepping away from the show, there's no telling what he might try next. Because here's the shocking part, Melody's decision to leave Love and Marriage Huntsville didn't calm things down, it made them worse. Because now Martell doesn't have that public platform to keep him in check. He doesn't have cameras following his every move, forcing him to play nice. He doesn't have producers stepping in when things go too far. Now it's just him and his bitterness. And when a man like Martell feels like he's lost control, there's no telling how far he'll go to get it back. And this is Why Melody is afraid, because she knows exactly who she was married to, she knows how he thinks, she knows what he's capable of, and now that she's finally free of him, there's one terrifying question left after years of drama, heartbreak, and relentless public battles. Melody Holt finally made the choice to move away from love and marriage Huntsville. At first, fans thought it was a simple business move. Maybe she had outgrown the show, maybe she was just ready to focus on her empire, but now people are starting to wonder if she wasn't just leaving the show, but running from something, because let's be real, Melody has been through hell on that show. Every season, she had to relive the worst moments of her life. Martell's cheating, their messy divorce, his public disrespect, and even though she tried to move forward, Martell always found a way to drag her back into the chaos. Every argument, every low blow, every gaslighting session, it all took a toll on her, even when she wasn't speaking to him, even when she was ignoring him. Martell always managed to find a way back into her plot, whether it was via messy interviews, reckless allegations, or simply his presence on the program. She was continuously being forced to relive the misery she had endured years attempting to flee. And here's where it gets interesting. Melody thought that leaving the show would bring her peace. She thought that by cutting off the cameras, stepping away from the drama, and focusing on her future, she could finally close this toxic chapter of her life. But now it might have made things even more dangerous for her, because here's the thing, while she was on the show, at least everything was out in the open. Every shady move, every argument, every heated moment was captured for the world to see. Martell couldn't get away with too much because there were cameras, producers, and a massive audience watching his every move. But now Melody is out of the spotlight. She's no longer on national TV every week. She doesn't have that built-in protection of millions of fans witnessing everything firsthand, and for a man like Martell, that's the perfect opportunity. Let's not forget, Martell has a pattern of being manipulative and controlling. He's never handled rejection well, and he hates losing control. Now that Melody has completely separated herself from him, there's no telling how he'll react. Will he try to destroy her behind the scenes? Will he sabotage her career? Will he use their kids against her? Or worst of all, will he try to pull her back in by any means necessary? One thing's for sure, Melody leaving the show doesn't mean she's safe. In fact, it might mean the complete opposite. If there's one thing we know about Martell Holt, it's that he does not handle rejection well. Over the years, we've seen him lash out every time Melody took a step away from him, whether it was leaving their marriage, taking control of her career, or simply setting boundaries. So when Melody decided to walk away from love and marriage Huntsville for good, you better believe Martell had a reaction. The real question is, did he know it was coming? Because if there's one thing that would have made him even angrier, it's the idea that Melody made this decision behind his back without giving him a chance to manipulate, guilt trip, or sabo her exit. We don't know exactly when Martell found out, but one thing is clear, he did not take it well. Let's look at the signs. Did Martell throw shade online? Martell may not always be straightforward, but his social media behavior speaks on him every time. Soon after news emerged about Melody leaving, fans saw he was tweeting a lot of cryptic statements, stuff like loyalty, ungrateful individuals, and how some people forget who helped them sound familiar. That's classic Martell. Whenever he feels like Melody is slipping out of his grip, he finds a way to play the victim. He wants people to believe that he's the one who is wrong, that she's the problem, but the truth, he's just mad that he doesn't have control over her anymore. The final episodes was their tension. Even before Melody officially announced her departure, fans noticed the tension between her and Martell was getting worse. Their interactions were short, cold, and almost businesslike. It wasn't the usual back and forth toxicity we were used to. It felt like Melody had emotionally checked out, and that probably drove Martell crazy, because let's be real, Morel lives for the drama. He doesn't just argue for the sake of arguing, he does it because he feeds off the emotional reaction. If he can make Melody mad, if he can make her cry, if he can pull her into another fight, he still has some level of control. But when Melody stopped giving him that, when she started shutting him down completely, that's when things got really scary. What makes this story different? This isn't just about a woman leaving a reality show. This is about a man who has lost all control. First, he lost his marriage, then he lost his business partner, then he lost his grip on her emotions, and now he's lost his last connection to her through the show. Martell has nothing left to hold over Melody. No more forced interactions, no more reunion specials to hash things out, no more camera time together. She is done, and now that he's truly lost her in every way possible, there's one terrifying question left. Melody Holt has made one thing very clear: she does not trust Martell, and honestly, can you blame her? This isn't just a normal reality TV breakup, this is years of manipulation, betrayal and power struggles that have played out in the public eye, and now that Melody has completely cut ties, she's afraid that Martell is planning something. And here's the craziest part, she's been dropping hints. Does Melody know something we don't? Fans have been watching her closely, and if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that Melody's been making some very careful, very specific comments in interviews, and on social media she hasn't directly said, "I'm scared of what Martell will do," but the way she's been choosing her words, it's giving "I know something y'all don't think about it." Melody is a strategic woman. She knows how to protect herself. She knows how to control a narrative. So if she's hinting at something without outright saying it, that tells us it's serious. Has Martell made threats before? Let's be real, Martell has a history of trying to make Melody's life difficult. Legal battles. He's tried to take her to court for full custody of their kids, despite the fact that she's the stable parent. Was that out of love for his children, or was it just another attempt to control her life? Co-parenting drama. He's used their kids to guilt trip her, generate disputes, and create unneeded tension. Every time Melody wants to move ahead, he finds a way to pull her back in. Business sabotage. Let's not forget Martell lost everything when Melody left. He wasn't just her husband, he was her business partner, and when their marriage ended, so did a lot of his prospects. Might he attempt to harm her enterprises out of spite? The pattern is evident. Martell lashes out when he feels weak, and right now he has never been more powerless. What might revenge genuinely look like? The worrying part is there are so many ways Martell may strike back. More legal drama. May he attempt to take her back to court simply to stress her out and waste her time? Public humiliation. He's renowned for being reckless online. Could he try to expose private details about their past just to make her look bad, interfering with her love life? We know Martell hates seeing Melody happy without him. If she moves on with someone new, will he try to sabotage it? Is this just paranoia, or is something big about to happen? Melody isn't the sort to fearmonger for cause. If she's scared, there's a reason, and here's where it gets dangerous. Martell doesn't know how to take AL. He has lost all that tied him to Melody, and when a guy like him feels like he's got nothing left to lose, that's when he's at his most dangerous. So the real question isn't if Martell will try something, it's when. If there's one thing we've learned about Martell Holt over the years, it's that he does not know how to take AL gracefully. Whether it's his failed marriage, his lost business opportunities, or the fact that Melody is thriving without him, he's always found a way to lash out. And now that Melody has made her final move, walking away from love and marriage, Huntsville for good fans are convinced that he's gearing up for revenge. Why? Because this isn't the first time. Martell has a pattern of being petty, bitter, and downright vindictive when he doesn't get his way, and if history tells us anything, it's that he never plays fair, throwing shade and smearing Melody's image from the moment their marriage ended. Martell made it his mission to try and destroy Melody's reputation. Instead of taking accountability for his cheating, he flipped the script and tried to make her look bad. He accused her of being a bad wife, an unfit mother, and even hinted that she was unfaithful when we all knew the truth. And let's not forget his social media meltdowns. Every time Melody earned a new career milestone, Martell would mysteriously post cryptic messages about disloyalty and fake women, as if he wasn't the one who wrecked his own family. Then there were the interviews. Instead of moving on, Martell made sure to drag Melody's name at every opportunity, whether it was hinting at things she supposedly did behind closed doors, or trying to make her seem like the villain. It was clear he wanted to ruin her image. Past attempts at sabotaging Melody's business. Martell didn't just try to attack Melody personally, he also tried to come for her money. Remember when they used to be business partners? Well, after the divorce, Melody was forced to build everything from scratch, and instead of respecting her hustle, Martell did everything he could to make it harder for her. He tried to take credit for her success. He refused to sign off on business documents to make things difficult. He even attempted to block her from certain opportunities out of spite. And when that didn't work, he ran to social media, insinuating that Melody wasn't as independent as she claimed, as if he hadn't been riding her coattails for years, using co-parenting as a weapon. If there's one thing that proves how calculated Martell can be, it's the way he's handled co-parenting. Instead of putting their kids first, he's used them as leverage to try and control Melody. Every time she sets a boundary, he finds a way to disrupt her peace. Every time she starts dating again, he suddenly has an issue with the custody agreement. Every time she's about to make a big career move, he finds a way to start unnecessary drama. It's not about the kids, it's about power, and the fact that Melody refuses to give him any, that's what makes him even more dangerous. Destiny took an unexpected turn. Is Martell out for retribution now? That Melody is fully out of his grasp. The real issue is what will Martell do next, since if his past has taught us anything, it's that he doesn't simply let things go. Will he start another smear campaign? Will he attempt to damage her work behind the scenes? Will he use their children to keep meddling in her life? As soon as word leaked that Melody Holt was formally quitting Love and Marriage, Huntsville supporters had one quick response: what is Martell going to do next? Because let's be honest, we all know Martell isn't the kind to accept a defeat quietly, and judging by his past, fans are confident that he's already plotting his next move. Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, social media is on fire with thoughts about what Martell's revenge may look like, and some of these predictions, they're just insane. Theory number 1: Martell will attempt to expose Melody. Some fans are certain that Martell is set to release receipts now, whether they're true or just straight out falsehoods, that's another thing. But here's what we know: Martell hates seeing Melody win. Every time she levels up, he tries to tear her down, and now that she's completely removed herself from the show, some people believe that he's going to use this opportunity to air out her business. Will he release personal messages or emails? Will he make up rumors to damage her brand? Might he possibly go as far as disclosing confidential facts about their former relationship? The dangerous part: Martell has nothing to lose. He's already disgraced himself publicly, so if he thinks he can bring Melody down with him, he just may attempt. Theory number 2: he wants to ruin her career. Let's not forget Melody is thriving without him since they're split. She's built a successful business, dropped music, secured brand deals, and become a household name. Meanwhile, Martell's still struggling, so some fans believe that his next move is to try and block Melody's success. We've seen men like him before, the ones who can't handle watching their ex do better without them. Could he try to sabotage her behind the scenes? Could he start spreading rumors to make it harder for her to get business deals? Could he use co-parenting as a weapon to make her personal life stressful enough to affect her career? One thing's for sure: Martell is bitter, and a bitter guy with a battered ego. That's a terrible mix. Theory number 3: Martell will use Love and Marriage Huntsville to seek vengeance. Now here's the startling part: some people say Martell won't simply target Melody personally. Instead, he could use the program itself to come after her. Think about it, Melody is gone, but Martell is still on the cast, and if there's one thing we know about reality TV, it's that the mess never stops. Could he try to turn the cast against her? Will he push a new storyline that makes her look bad, even though she's not there to defend herself? Could he use the show as a platform to spread lies and rewrite history? We've already seen how easily cast members can be manipulated. Martell has friends, and if he plays his cards correctly, he may just use them to make sure Melody's name is continuously being dragged, whether she's on the program or not. And let's be honest, producers love drama. If Martell continues stirring the waters, don't be shocked if the program starts emphasizing his version of events. The viewers are selecting sides. With all this craziness brewing, aficionados are already taking sides. Hashtag Team Melody, who feels she took the correct option to safeguard her peace and that Martell has to move on. Hashtag Team Martell, who think Melody has secrets of her own and that she's not as innocent as she says.